Okay, so we left off doing something. I'm sure. Do this. I've told you about the angels. I've told you about my neighbor who's a shapeshifter, or who might be a shapeshifter, I suppose. I think I'm gonna make it. Maybe I don't need to. Make some more stuff. I was gonna go back up, but never mind. So the next story I have, I mean, I guess not really a story. It's more just like maybe called a rant, I suppose. But it's just talking about love, I suppose, and just the idea of it. I guess. I mean, and like people always talk about like true love, all that kind of stuff. Before we go, I'm gonna make some iron stuff. This would be a good time to tell the story, I suppose. Like this. So we're gonna let all this iron cook real quick. Okay. So it's been a little bit, but I mean, the main thing I was gonna talk about, yeah, was love. Basically, there's this idea of love at first sight. I think we are gonna go to that guy over there today once I get my full iron. I've never been over there before, so I don't really know if it's a good idea. There's some baddies down there, but I gotta make a little chest or something, or a bed, or before I actually fight them. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and today it's been a while since I've played this. Been about a month or two, I suppose, since they've made me play it, and yeah, they. Well, here, enough about them. Floating up there. Oh, floating in still. I see. So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna fight some guys. I need to make some iron. But love, the main thing I'm talking about today is basically just this idea of love at first sight, all this kind of stuff. I've lived a life so far, and I think there's something to be said about the love at first sight and the power of that. I mean, I think it's easy to dismiss it perhaps when you've not experienced it, um but as a man, maybe as a woman too, I don't know, can't speak on their experience, I guess, but there's definitely a feeling sometimes of you see someone and you're like, holy shit, I'd go to war for that person or something like that, which is an interesting feeling because it's not really, I don't know, it's so divided from our modern day maybe feelings, or is there something? Our modern day feelings of just everything. I mean, school to friendships to what we do online and stuff. It's so different and so separate from any sort of real primal feelings that we used to have about stuff. And so I think love is one of those things that's still pretty present in modern day, of like this overwhelming feeling, like fight or flight response that people get sometimes, which is probably some of the only times in our lives we feel that way. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself. Maybe I've lived a lamer life than others as I sit here and play Minecraft, but I don't know, something pretty primal about it, about just relationships, falling in love with somebody, spending time with them, wanting to know everything about them. I don't know, I made two swords. It can be challenging to understand what to do with these feelings when you've not experienced anything like that before. And I don't know, there's sometimes I have less faith in our where we're heading as a people, as a country, whatever you want to call it, right? Just the world, where the world is heading in general. And then there's sometimes I'm just absolutely filled to the brim with hope on how much better it is and how much we're learning. more we can do now with the knowledge we have. And love is it's interesting. I mean, whether I think there's probably pretty rare. I mean, through most people's lives, of that feeling of meeting someone who you instantly connect with and who you could actually. It's like not a physical thing. It's not a emotional thing. I guess it's like an everything, right? Where there's just a connection that's made pretty quickly, and you understand that you two understand each other, right? It's pretty intuitive. I don't know how many times that happens in people's lives. I'm sure people who meet more people, it happens to more often just by probability, right? It's probably happen more if you meet more people. But I think even for people who are, really social and meet a lot of people, it's still something that doesn't happen all the time, which is why it makes it so special when it does happen. When you meet somebody who just gets you and there's not a lot of explaining to do, and there's not like that, right? Alright, so I'm just on normal survival. I was gonna jump and then maybe I'll go over there first and then head over there. I'm just on normal survival, so if I die, it's not the end of the world, but I don't want to die. Okay, that was pretty spooky. But anyway, when it comes to love, when it comes to life, it's pretty special when you meet somebody who just instantly kind of gets you and there's not a lot of explaining to do, and it's more than just, references. It's more than just maybe upbringing. It's just something maybe intuitively about how your brain works. You meet someone who's like you, and whether it's a coworker, whether it's a girlfriend, boyfriend, whether it's a whoever it is, you know what I mean, family member or something like that. There's someone who just kind of understands you innately, and it's a pretty awesome feeling when you meet someone like that. And I think it's pretty rare, just because of how different everybody is to meet someone like that. And there's always going to be differences, right? No one's really the same in that way, but it just got me thinking about love and how much of that is what we call love is situational or fleeting, and real love, I think, is probably a choice, right? It's not something that you have happen. It's something that yeah, damn it. Go over here. Horses, some pigs, and we need some food, so that's good. Put down my crafting table real quick. Make some axe if I didn't do that. Oh, pretty horse. I guess I'm just focusing on some food. Big grab my crafting table. Really like some sheep. I just realized. All this time. I don't know if I made a bed previously. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since they had me play, but nice to get a sheep. Actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing attacks of the sword. It looks like it's getting dark. Ooh, it's a different cow. Look at that. He's like a different. He sounds different too. Hi. Okay, it's getting dark. That's maybe you can move him. I'll just climb up. A village? Oh, here we go. Armadillo. Sorry, armadillo. Didn't scare you. I'm gonna get to bed then. I don't even know what kind of village this is. This is very interesting. Hopefully I can use one of their beds. What did I just do? I'm taking off. I didn't know I could taking off the bark from their house. Taking that, yeah. take your blood right now. Does it actually give me an item? Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, I gotta go to sleep. Sorry, broski. I'm gonna need this. Anyways, all the stuff about love. Time's an interesting part of it. When you meet somebody. Ooh, emeralds. Bucket. Look at that. Wow. Just my luck. I'm gonna go back here real quick. I don't know what this is. I think I need books at some point, so I'm gonna take those. Spider sounds like. Wow, this is cool. It's nice during the day, right? Yeah. You just hurting yourself, I suppose. Gives me emerald and book for enchanting book. Which means 6 emeralds. So I need to get paper. And make paper from book. Okay, well I don't know how to do it, so I'll just keep it for now. Hey buddy, give me some bread. Oh, a sheep. A brown sheep. I don't know if I want that because I need a white sheep to make a bed. River. Wow, this is a sweet town. Look at that. Chests. What up, buddy? Just chilling in there. Ooh, is that a sheep? So I'm getting distracted, but basically with love, there's a timing aspect to it, I think. Speaking from a little bit of experience, I think it's a very weird thing where people seem to take it either too seriously or not seriously enough, and there's not a lot of in between. People get way freaked out by it, by commitments and all kind of stuff, and overthink everything, or they don't think anything at all, and they are too willy-nilly with it and use people, and it's just kind of a gross, like, situation all around. So I don't really. Oh, I need to eat some food for sure though. Maybe I'll just trade with this guy to get his bread. Bread, right? Yeah, bread on. Trade with you. Eat some bread. Ready to go. I'm just gonna actually make my base here, and I'll go adventure over to. This is where I slept, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna put all my stuff in here. I don't want to lose. What's all this stuff in here for now? Basically, I'm expecting to die. I don't need to keep it. Where'd my iron go though? I already put it in the right there. Crafting table, torches. This seems to be enough stuff. I'll put this real quick and I'll use my stove. I'm just gonna redo this guy's house real quick. Just remodeling the smidge. That much I need to do like this. I'll put the crafting table, might use that. I guess I'll keep the bucket because I need that. We can get rid of. Use the shovel for now. First touch. Make some pork chops. And once this is done cooking, we're gonna head over to the other city, at the bad guy place, which I don't really know what it does. In a second, we'll take a bite of food. Potato serving me porcupine. I don't know if you've had that before, but those pictures from them. Burn down the house with wood. I'll just do this real quick. Then we can go. Okay, we got that. Put the coal back in here. Put some food, some stuff. Some stuff. My full iron set. And away we go. Yeah, so anyway, now we can get back to talking. So, basically, smart, I would have made a boat. Okay. There's no trees nearby me. Okay, I'm gonna get this tree. Basically, when it comes to love, my opinion on it is that a lot of it has to do with time, like timing aspect more so than most anything else. In terms of times of their life, you could be 35 and ready to marry, and 22 and ready to marry. And I mean, you don't know if you really were or not until afterwards. There's no guarantees. There's no nothing. You just kind of gotta trust yourself, I guess. And it's hard to always know to do that. So this guy, in case I do want to make a video here. But with all that, I did this with the boat, but I can show you some of the here and make a boat. The crafting table. Get some water. Can use that. And crafting table. So, ground. Uh-oh. That's spooky. A lot of it has to do with timing. Like I said, you could be 35 ready to marry, 21 ready to marry. It doesn't really matter. A lot of it has to do with timing and where you think you're at, right? And people are gonna be wrong. Hindsight's always 20/20. No one's gonna be able to do this perfectly. Life is not like a speed run, right? It's not like something you can just try until you get the right run or whatever you want, right? Like it's you're figuring it out as you go, and everyone else is figuring it out as they go. I know that people talk about. People talk about, trying to do it one way or another. This is a good sound. Slap, 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 slap. I don't know if I've ever done this before. I'm just going off of memory, trying to remember where I saw that bad guy here. It was kind of like almost by a desert, I think. I'm trying to run through here. Monkeys. Oh my goodness, a froggy village. Hello. So nice to meet you. Hello. I have no idea what to give you or do anything, but you look great. So keep up the good work. But yeah, anyway, it's not a speed run. It's you don't get to figure out the most optimal way in gaming and other things in general, social media, all kind of stuff. Excuse me, has made it so that people think they can figure it out and do it right. But, reality is just it's going to be a lot of pain, and the sooner you accept that, probably the better. Also, way easier said than done, right? To say that for me to sit that here while I'm playing. Whoa, that was cool. Like wall land across the room. So, what is this? Okay, interesting. That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like mud. I'm still going off of memory here. I'm still just fishies. Going off of memory, trying to find the bad guy for this, but at this point, I feel like I've gone a little too far. Fishies. We're just gonna run through it, and then I'm gonna go and see if I have a better spot after this biome. Lily pad parkour. Anyways, it's tough because your attitude's gonna change on a daily basis. Your feelings towards someone's gonna change on a daily basis with new information and stuff like that. So, the real kind of, and it's not really a secret, I suppose. My thought on it is, love is a choice, right? You're gonna have to constantly choose to do that, even when it hurts, even when they aren't nice to you, even when you think you deserve better, right? That's kind of what separates long-lasting relationships from others, is their willingness to compromise and love each other despite situations, which, again, is easier said than done, right? It's not an easy thing to do to love somebody. It's a lot easier to actually not do it. It's easier to be mean. It's easier to hate. Than just to actually love somebody and to give them the benefit of the doubt and to root for them and to support them even when they turn their back on you and stuff, right? It's there it is. It wasn't too far off, and I see, yeah, holy moly, there's our little first base over that way. So that's where we came from. Took us like the whole day. I see some desert zombies, creeper. I don't have enough wool. I guess we'll just wait the night out a little bit. We can fast forward this part, or maybe they can fast forward it. That must be a desert village. I don't remember any lights over there. That's crazy. Okay. Well, a village. Maybe we can sleep over there. Maybe we can run over that way. I do the water bucket trick. Probably not. I'm not very MLG pro, so probably just chill. Anyways, maybe this is a good spot to cut this one, where at the end of it, there's probably the kind of, I've been rambling and starting and stopping over and over again, but the kind of main 3 points here is basically love is timing, love is a choice, and it's probably much rarer than we think, really. I don't know if you've had that experience in that life. I've had maybe like 2 experiences in my life where, it's almost like, I hate using the comparison, but it's almost like a Disney movie or a rom-com or whatever, right? Where like everything stops and you're just kind of like, holy shit, this is something, right? This is something different. And yeah, I'd recommend for whoever, if you feel that way, to probably listen to that, right? Don't overthink it. Don't ignore it, right? But just do something with it, right? Because those moments, there's a difference between, and when I'm saying like do something with it, it's like just be normal about it, right? You don't need to be like, oh my god, you're the love of my life or something like that immediately, right? Even if in that moment that, or in the moment you feel that, you don't need to say that, right? You can hold on to that and kind of see where it goes, right? Because it's not just about you, it's about the other person too. And they could have felt that, or they could have not felt that, right? If 2 people feel that, I think that's really 1 in a million, right? And then, but again, the other part of that is timing. So sometimes it's not, the time is right for somebody, and sometimes it's a choice. People aren't ready to make that choice yet, right? Which kind of comes back to timing. So it's all kind of timing. But anyways, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll cut it here and I'll resume next episode on trying to get over there and over there. But love, you choose who you love. And I think that's a powerful thing. Anyways, thanks for watching. I don't know when they'll have me play again, but I'll keep telling stories and rambling about this stuff for as long as you'll have me. Thanks, bye.